welcome to Season 2 of BetaHouse.life, the official podcast of Beta House Studio.
Yeah.
Starring our main host here, founder and CEO,
Elizabeth Hedgepeth.
And I am the general manager, Benjamin Hedgepeth. So glad to be able to spend this time with you guys today.
I like how a lot of times you say that you basically just generally manage around here.
Yeah.
You know, that's your
that's the way it works.
title. You know, putting up with me and everything.
Yeah.
But, Season 2
finally.
It's only taken months.
Months, plural.
Yeah, lots of after that to finally
this
get
is
here.
not going to be an ASMR podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a long time, and we've had a lot of stuff come out. You in particular have been dealing with a lot of stuff, and we'll get into that here in just a minute. But we've also got a lot of good stuff already recorded.
Yeah.
I just got to clean it up and edit it, and we can drop it out.
Some of it recorded actually all of that was recorded in the old studio.
In the old studio in 2019, except for one recorded on the beach episode with our buddy Russ.
But it's been an interesting ride getting to this point, because originally we thought, okay, we're going to record a couple of those in the other studio. Mm-hmm. Then we'll get the intro recorded when we move in. Right. Which was September that we moved in. Right.
And it's now the end of January of 2020. Yeah.
And life happened.
A lot. Why don't you go ahead and open up? Let's tell everybody what caused the delay. So besides the initial move-in delay, let's hit real quick. What was the delay, and then what's been up with you?
So moving is stressful as a thing. It took a whole lot longer than I thought, which Absolutely. I like. I am the queen of thinking everything happens in HGTV time.
Right.
You know, like 30 minutes, you're done. Like, that's how life works. Right. And it is never that true. Like, building out the studio in here, which I love the way it looks. I love the whole thing. I can see our interview corner from here, and I get excited looking at it because it's so like comfy and happy looking.
We have if you've not been in here, the studio can be used from multiple different angles. So
it's naked today. Yeah. Like, I say naked, it's like it's kind of indecent.
We have our nice IKEA bamboo bushes back here today.
It's empty today because we originally had somebody scheduled to record.
Right.
And
she got sick.
She's under the weather today, you know, lost her voice. Bad day to record if you don't have a voice. Just FYI, pro tip right there for you. And I'm like, we've got a moment. We need to jump on it.
We need to do this,
So we're sitting in here, like, I didn't actually put on makeup this morning before we came in. Yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, that's what you see. If you're listening to it, you don't care.
And as I always tell you, you don't need this stuff.
But it was just funny and it was like, we can do it. Let's jump in here.
Let's hop in.
Because it has been put off for so long. So the stress of moving hit. Right. And I ended up getting a cough. Now,
hold on, everybody. A cough.
Okay. And it sounds like nothing. It really does. But what happened was, and it's like it took forever to get to this point because it was a crazy roller coaster of a ride. My cough started. Now, the stress of moving, running the studio, everything, all of that, I started getting reflux. Right. I've never had reflux in my life. Okay. Don't know what that's like. It didn't hurt. Like, I wasn't feeling anything. Right. I just started coughing. No other symptoms. Like, you know, normally you get a cough, you've got a cold or something like that. Sure. And so like a couple of weeks go by and I'm like, I'm coughing. And then all of a sudden it went from just a cough to like these coughing fits that would almost have me passing out.
Yeah, she was like doubled over, like hands on the bed, trying to stay vertical, coughing. It was bad. It was like, really bad.
Okay, what is causing this? Like, there's no stuffy nose, no headache, no signs of a cold. So I go in.
No environmental changes that happened where new things were introduced. Yeah.
No. So I go into urgent care, like totally ready for them to like say, yes, you have bronchitis. We're going to fix it. You know, they send you on. And part of that is they send you for an x-ray. Right. And the x-ray, I went to do that, and it's mainly to prove that you don't have pneumonia. Yeah. And they're like, if we don't call you, know that everything's fine.
Haven't swallowed any large metal objects.
Yeah, nothing's going crazy. Like we just do this because we want to rule out pneumonia. Right. Which nobody thought was pneumonia. There was no fever. There was no signs of anything like that. That day I get a call. And it's like that moment of, then they say, there's a mass in your lung. Yeah. And it's like, what? Like, and
you're not a heavy smoker because you don't smoke at all.
Nobody
in our household smokes. Yeah. No vaping going on.
No history of anything. No. So
no family history of anything.
Yeah, nothing. There's absolutely zero there. So they tell me that, like, I'm in freak out mode, needless to say, then end up going to have to go get another scan like immediately. Like, it's go to the hospital, get a scan kind of a thing.
Went from x-ray to CAT scan.
Yeah. And so CT. And so then they did that. The good news was they were able to immediately tell me it's not cancer.
Right.
So that was off the table.
Yay!
So the whole it could be cancer was only like a couple of hours of my life.
Needless to say, that is a little stressful.
It is.
Yeah.
And considering at the time, we didn't know the cough was being caused by stress, but there was some more stress thrown in there.
Right.
And so then specialists and all of that later finally got the cough under control. But by that point, it
After
had done
a cavalcade of medications.
Yeah, like I've
You have to
never
try everything. You had to go through allergy testing.
Yeah.
No Timothy Hay for you.
Yeah.
No Johnson grass, none of that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
random things that I'm allergic to. But
Hyperallergic almost too, yeah.
because of the cough, we weren't able to record. Like I could not get through a recording. And then it caused some other things that just basically left me in chronic pain.
Right.
That
Well, when
took
you cough
months to get
for
through.
a couple months straight, that stresses some things out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so basically my life has been just the work that has to be done and rest.
Right.
And with all of that, I mean, that was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, going through that, knowing
Absolutely.
that I've got a new business that needs to be growing. I've got all of this going on that needs to be happening. Yet health-wise, I can't do this.
No. And part of what our business runs on is going out and being in networking meetings and meeting with people out in public and sharing what we do in person so that they can come in and go, oh, no, I do want that.
And
so,
I love that part of it. I love the people side of it.
but that had the kibosh put on it too. We couldn't even get out and go do it.
Because I needed to be here during the day and then it was rest.
Yeah.
Here, rest.
Just
here,
exhausted
rest.
all the time.
And to try to get everything to heal. And because of that, like networking runs for a little bit for the leads that you get and that type of thing. And so December hit great month.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
then because the networking had kind of slowed down, January hit.
And boom, brick wall.
Total brick wall.
Yeah.
Absolute brick wall. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there questioning everything. Like anybody would have been questioning everything at that
Nobody's
point.
coming in.
What have I done? What's going on? What should I do? Total roller coaster of a month.
Yeah.
And, I'm like thankful tomorrow's the last day of the month. Like this month will be over.
Right.
I am so ready. But wiggling through that and the journey that was, like it literally was going from do I even keep the business open?
Right.
And going through that. And I'm glad that I'm on the other side of that now.
Sure.
And I've had that journey because thinking through all of that and determining what my resolve was, what I really wanted, what
Steer the ship.
goals, what, and just taking that time of introspection, I think now has the studio on a stronger foothold than it was before.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to what's coming.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some awesome people rally around us because I am a transparent person.
Right.
I can't hide anything. Like if you ever want an easy game of poker,
I was just going to say, I told you that yesterday. Never play poker.
Because I even like when I'm thinking, I move my mouth.
Yeah.
Like my
She's
mouth.
talking.
Yeah. The words in my head are forming on my mouth.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. And
so if you can read lips, you can tell what she's got in her hand. That's.
But anyway, so that's, I don't hide anything. And I don't want to because I think people hide things way too much. And we don't know what they're going through to be able to come from a place of empathy for them because people hide things.
Right.
And like that whole journey that I went through this last month on the surface felt very lonely.
Sure.
But the more I talk to people, the more like, don't worry, this is normal.
Right.
This is normal. Lulls like this happen.
Yep.
And they're normally right before something big.
Right.
And because I was vocal about that and not hiding it, that saved me from having to go through that whole journey by myself.
Right.
And so I just want to share that with you, with our audience too, especially if you're starting a business. We're a year in at this point, and
we don't know what January looks like.
No, we've never been open for a January.
No,
Last January, we were literally moving and building.
We were opening, but not open, yeah.
And we were starting to record some of our own content at that point, but not like open. February was when we actually opened the doors.
Right.
And so now that we've kind of seen and we can start judging and know that maybe January is like the best year for us to be brainstorming and coming up with incredible ideas because the studio is going to be a little slower and we have that space to do it. Or maybe it's just because we weren't putting out and marketing so much in December as we normally do. And
December's always a little nuts for everybody.
Keeping the marketing game strong is what we need to be doing. Things you learn along the way. But this time hasn't been a loss. It hasn't just been sitting in a corner freaking out.
There's a little bit of that.
There was, but it wasn't just that.
No.
Because I was vocal and had people to jump in. They were able to speak into it, and because they were coming from an area of greater expertise than me, with this, they could say, "Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? What if we do this?" You know, literally, and I'm going to totally shout her out because Susan Bernstein is amazing. We'll have links everywhere so that you can find her. But anyway.
She's amazing on LinkedIn.
Yeah. She just jumped in and just, you know, like I think of her like Edna Mode. You know, like what Elastigirl in the first Incredibles is like crying at her table.
Right.
She was Edna Mode in that moment.
Yeah.
Just jumping in, you know, and just boom, let's do this. And in like 10 minutes, had something incredible ready.
Yeah.
And we're running on that. It should be live the same time this podcast goes live. So I think we could talk about it.
You can if you want to. I mean, this is, might as well. Go ahead.
So
we've talked about, let's kind of walk up into it.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we do here at the studio is a la carte. You come in, you record, and your project is done. But we've also introduced in the last year subscriptions where people can come in and have a podcast subscription or a video podcast subscription, whatever.
Yeah.
It's an accountability tool for them. Hey, I paid for this. I need to come in and do it.
It's the beautiful idea, and I want to liken to it, and I don't want to liken to it because it's kind of like the gym membership, because you get the gym membership because it'll make you go to the gym.
Right.
But not like the gym membership in that I pay for it and I keep paying for it and I never use it. No.
Right. No, we want people to come in and create stuff. That's why we exist.
The whole point is we want people in our studio.
Yeah.
It's not that we do need it to pay the bills.
Yeah.
That's how that works. But what I'm saying is it's not because of some intrinsic need of ours. But we want people to use the studio. That's why it was created. It wasn't created to sit there empty.
Right.
No. How boring would that be?
Yeah.
But
that led up into
that launched. We've had some people jump in on that one, which is great. And it's available. Like online booking is now available too.
Yeah, that's something we did not have. Yeah.
That was something
you took care of that this last month.
Yeah, I did that in January. That was a multi-day project, getting that all live. Then we get in and we're like, okay, so we've got these a la cartes. You do it on your own. What if we took everything that we've learned and we bundle it into an easy package?
Right.
Meaning from the easy standpoint that as the business owner, you just come in and you just sit down to record.
Yeah.
You know, besides a couple of pre-production meetings so that we can make sure
everything's
what you
on
want,
point,
you know,
direction.
that kind of thing. And that we have the direction, you know, but that we're able to then, we handle the editing, we handle getting things together. You just get the guests and get in here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that it comes down to, basically. We can even add on, we upload it for you for this one if you want that. It's not included in the package, but if you even want that, we can add that on.
Right.
And finally bundled that all up and made it one easy price.
From concept to completion, everything.
You know, so it's not like, well, let's sit down and we got to figure out exactly what you want to do, a little worksheet, which is, we can do that. You know, if you want a la carte items, I sit down with people all the time and say, this is what you've got. I'll show it a couple of different ways, you know, so that they can get the best deal and what fits for them. That's the idea of what we want to do here. I don't want to charge you the most for things you don't need.
No. We actually work directly against overcharging people because we both don't like it.
No, I hate when I get overcharged. So why would I want to overcharge somebody? That is stupid to me. You know, we live in a world where it's not that hard to avoid that. But so that launches tomorrow from when we're recording it, today if you're listening.
Right. This will go out on Friday. It's the 31st.
Friday the 31st. So we're getting it out before February.
Yay.
But it's all going to be there. And I'm actually really excited about this package.
Yeah.
I've recorded video. We've put together a great lead magnet for it. Some other things, like actually sitting down to say, what is the process to walk through all of this?
Right.
You know, it's not just a matter of saying we're offering these things. What's the order? What's the timing? How does all that lay out so that it is the best experience for the people recording?
Yep. And that's cool because there's a lot of the stuff that we handle that are we handle the hindrances, basically.
Yeah.
We handle all the stuff that keep people from actually creating because it's a pain to do that stuff if you don't know how.
Yeah. One of the things when we were like too, in all of this, I'm sitting here working on like our ultra branding thing now that we've been open a year. And one of the things that kept coming up, and it's part of the mission and vision now, is that we remove barriers.
Right.
Ultimate goal is to remove barriers from recording. And we're still working on getting that like worded beautifully, you know, like that ultra call to action, whatever, right there for everybody rally and cry. But it boils down to that. Like, I want to remove the barriers to people getting great content out there. Ultimately, that is it.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know where to go from that.
I don't have anything to add to that. That's exactly why we exist. That's why you started the business.
Yeah.
Is because you experienced the barriers and said, no, let's take that away for other people. So boom, here we are.
What if it didn't have to be that way?
Right. And now that we've walked through a barrier of dealing with health issues and that sort of thing, we can charge forward and help other people charge forward at the same time.
And by the way, I am feeling great now.
Yeah, she's great.
It's
totally
been,
fun. Yeah.
you know, a road to this point, but right now, great. I mean, and I'm like so thankful. It's like I didn't realize.
Major life shift is that you're on allergy meds now.
Yeah, I take Flonase, right?
Yeah.
And a reflex medicine. I mean, it's like that simple.
That's it. Yeah.
But it took a road to get to that.
Yeah, it did.
My words on the healthcare system a little bit later.
Yeah. It takes a while. Let's get this thing approved. Okay.
Yeah, sit back and wait.
2 weeks later.
While you feel horrible.
Yeah. So, anyways, we've walked through all that, and it's been an interesting transition from 2019 into 2020. And I think you're in a lot better place now than you were in October as far as your mental game for the business and things you want to see accomplished.
You want to share a little bit about what's coming up in season 2?
If I can remember it all, yeah.
Wait, we've teased one of our guests for one of the episodes coming up.
Sure.
We can go ahead and share who it is.
It's Russ Cantu.
It is Russ Cantu.
Russ is our awesome interview. We did an episode on the beach. Was it down at Del Mar? Where were we for that? Torrey Pines, somewhere around there?
No, it was it?
Or that was all the way up to close to Carlsbad or something.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was up the coast.
Wes, if you're not from California, you don't care.
We have
it was
the
on
desalinization plant in the background because if you're going to pick a background, that is the background you want. Right?
So, we've got Roberto Blake for one of our episodes. He was one of the last things. Roberto Blake. So Roberto is an excellent creator on YouTube, and his whole focus, he's so cool, his whole focus is on helping new, small, and beginning channels.
Yeah.
To help people get their acting gear, to have realistic expectations for, I'm going to get all this YouTube ad money. Not really. No, there's other things that you really need to focus on. Affiliate deals, online coursework. Roberto did a lot of training under Pat Flynn here locally. He was part of his training group. And so there's a little bit of that passive income thing. And Roberto's done good. He actually, one of the last videos he posted, I guess one of the first ones for 2020 was his 2019 earnings statement, basically, and how he, survives as a full-time YouTuber. And so there's just a lot of interesting stuff in there. So he's got a lot of interesting takes, but I didn't talk to him about any of that. Because if you want to hear Roberto talk about that, you go to his channel. Yeah. So we talked about the power of story and some particular stories that have engaged us, because he and I have some stuff in common on that regard. We're both geeky. And so we had a fun time talking about something you wouldn't normally hear him talk about.
And part of what we're going to be doing with season 2 is we're going to be bringing in some of our behind-the-scenes team members.
Sure.
They're going to get to be in here with us, so you're going to get to meet them.
Right.
We're going to kind of go through a little bit more process-oriented stuff around here.
And there's some new frontiers that one of our people is blasting forward through right now.
We have a giggle. I think we laughed for probably 10 minutes yesterday talking about it. Yeah. So.
Well, and the fact that there's a business that wants to pay a person with that skill set $74,000 a year just to do that thing on college campus.
What is that skill set?
TikTok.
A TikTok expert?
On college campus TikTok expert. I'm going to get him that link today.
The actually. TikTok expert. We were laughing about that. That is an actual job. And I mean, it's all of these jobs that are new in this, and that.
The digital creatosphere is continually changing, and there's always that opportunity to go, you get paid to do what? Okay, great.
Yeah, people trying to understand what you do.
Yeah.
And explaining that to them.
But that's fun. It's fun.
So I'm looking forward to having all of that going. And just finally getting back in here. It is nice to be recording one.
It is.
And we're recording one in a very simple format today so that it can go out fast.
Really no editing.
Yeah. I'll chop the ends off, and that'll be about it.
Yep.
I'm actually going to edit this one, even though I don't typically edit anymore.
All right. Well, cool. Well, I guess you'll do that tonight after you get back from your LinkedIn meetup thing or whatever.
Yep.
So,
I'm back at meetups.
Back at meetups
Back
tonight.
to networking. Yeah.
So anyways, ramble free guarantee. We'll continue on. So we'll cut this right here.
Yep.
Why don't you close this out?
Okay, so I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us on Spotify or podcasts or wherever, go ahead and this is like the worst ending ever. Go ahead and give us a couple of stars down there. 5 preferably.
5 is great.
Yeah, I would love 5.
If you've laughed a couple times, drop us some. Give us those 5 stars.
And that kind of thing.
That's helpful.
Then if you're watching us on YouTube, hello. Make sure that you smash that like, share, and subscribe button. There's
all
not a
of
share
them.
button, yeah.
All of
but
them.
share this, let other people
Ring the
know.
bell. Yep.
Yeah, all of that stuff. You know the drill. I don't need to tell you what it is. Anyway, and that is it. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.